You are now in the black box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka VJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Snakewood and that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spider Loke. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. The show is a blessing. To be back in the black box as we blow a succession, the constant, continuous content creation campaign continues as well as the Marijuana-thon, TMC. I am your host, VJ Keyway, and we got another reaction. The title is this: The Judge Was Done with Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon. And we gonna react to it. It's somebody, what's his name real quick? Let me give him his props, because this is somebody else's content that we gonna react to. Toon Talks. Go follow up Toon Talks. But with no further ado, let's see what Toon, Luce, and Bricc have been up to. Oh, my mama.
You said Compa was the one that get high off of like a little bit and trip out. I'm starting to believe that you're the
how you ain't got tolerance?
The paperwork actually mentions in it. Jesus Christ. During the podcast, sitting across from that person, the defendant brandished a firearm in his waistband.
They called it the biggest street bust of the year, and everyone thought Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon would walk free until the judge dropped a bomb that left them both stuck in jail. You're about to see how
That let you know how big the squares have become a part of the criminal scene, man. He says everybody thought they was gonna walk free. Nobody of the life thought they was gonna walk free. The only people thought they was gonna walk free are like the no jumper subscriber, that audience that has come so heavily involved in these things and don't have a clue. Because anybody that know what it do had no faith in them being released. Facts. Oh, my mama.
few online videos, a handful of Instagram posts, and one chaotic courtroom outburst changed their fates forever.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up with your wife? How you doing?
Oh my God, it's so good to finally hear your voice. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Where are you?
I'm in LA. You won't believe who's my celly.
Who?
Bricc Baby.
Tell you something, it's been known. Ain't near that tell his broad every move, every development. Can't trust him. It's the pillow talker. Facts.
What?
Let's start with the basics. Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon had every reason to believe the judge would grant them bond. In fact, they pretty much announced to friends and followers that they'd be free by April 9th, going so far as to talk about what they planned to do once they were back on the streets, and they had strong reasons for their confidence. Bricc Baby's mother reportedly offered up a multi-million-dollar property as collateral, which in many cases is enough to convince a court that a defendant isn't going to run.
I mean, right in our face, we seen Puffy do similar things to the tune of $50 million and get denied by the same feds. I don't understand why y'all thought that was an indication of something that was going to impress the feds. That's crazy how easy we forget.
Luce Cannon, for his part, had assembled what he thought was a convincing legal strategy, presumably including character references and assurances that he wouldn't be a flight risk. On paper, it looked like both men had a path to temporary freedom, at least until trial.
But let me pull up this document where Bricc Baby, he wants out. He's saying, all right, judge, I hear you and all that, but excuse me, everybody else is out, let me out. So the first thing we're gonna look at is that exhibit that was attached to the application. All right, this is the
The feds code, they got tactics. They go scoop up a handful and then let a handful of them go. So the ones remaining could just be reflecting on how, damn, they got arrested, they out. And it just creates a desire in you to be willing to do whatever they did to get out. Oh, my mama. They especially gonna try to do these two like that because they seem so interested in what they want to be out bad. You're not supposed to show that. Facts.
-1, this was that exhibit A. Notification regarding application for bail review or reconsideration of order setting conditions of release.
But none of that mattered the moment the prosecutors rolled out their evidence. The judge quickly denied bond for both men, citing what the government called a consistent pattern of violent and reckless behavior. A huge piece of that puzzle came from internet content. We're talking about live streams, podcasts, Instagram feeds, and even heated arguments captured on camera. One of the biggest red flags, according to the prosecution, was that Bricc Baby went on a widely watched podcast brandishing a firearm literally the day before he got picked up. Imagine trying to convince a judge you're responsible, law-abiding, and worthy of release when there's a video out there of you casually making threats and challenging rivals. That video alone might have sealed his fate.
On the dead homies, cause y'all know what it is. And white boy. Bitch, the reason I ain't come outside kill one of you cause I was in front of these white niggas. You know?
Now, I've been speculating ever since this happened. Was cause like faking, fronting, or was he really upset? Well, the feds seem to believe him. They've paid attention to all this. So all that emotion that he's displaying, that I'm sure he's probably said somewhere, you know, I was just trolling, like, woo, woo, woo. He was very convincing. It blew my mind when he said this. The only reason I didn't, when you, and these is homies he's referring to, is because these people was here. That f***ed my head up, bro. I couldn't believe he had said that. Oh, my mama.
You would have crashed on 6-0. None of that, nigga. Shout out Devil Donut, my real 40s, cuz. These 68ers, though. On 6-0, and this my homeboy, nigga. On the hood. And whatever me and my homeboy got to go through.
That's the other thing, be up. Where we had our exchange, our back and forth disagreement, whatever you want to classify it as. He ain't never said no shit like that about me. Nightbud. He talking about DW Flame like they from the sandbox. We roller coasters. That shit is crazy.
Clear what we got to clear, nigga. On 6-0, he gonna always be my homeboy, nigga.
Meanwhile, Luce Cannon didn't do himself any favors in court. As soon as he entered the courtroom, he spotted a local OG named Eddie Boy. Instead of staying calm and collected, Luce Cannon allegedly blurted out, "I don't rock with him," loudly enough for people to hear. This was all happening in the middle of a bond hearing, a legal proceeding where you're supposed to appear as the least threatening, most polite version of yourself. The prosecution seized on this moment to underscore their argument. This man cannot control himself, they essentially told the court. We can't trust him not to lash out if he's released. In the eyes of the judge, that outburst might have been the final straw.
He looked bad, he looked stressed out. Eddie Boy.
I apologize that this dude is part of the production. Toon Talks put him in there, not me. I would have not put him in there. Cannot tolerate the way he smacks his, listen how he smack his mouth like a bit. And then he is an expert at talking about what he heard. He was not there, but he'll give you details like he's seen it with his own eyes. Slow tart, soft, squishy, motherfucker. Oh, mama.
In the courtroom, Eddie Boy by himself. Luce Cannon come in his spot and look like ghost, like, man, what Eddie Boy doing here?
Listen to her talk about what she heard. He didn't see this. She was told this. It's crazy.
Oh, cuz, neighborhood crib. Eddie Boy just sitting there. Ain't paying due no mind. So they all the lawyers look over Eddie Boy like, what?
But the story runs much deeper than a simple no bond ruling. Over the past 2 years, it appears that federal agents and local law enforcement were gathering material on both men, often by just observing what they posted online. Bricc Baby had a tendency to go on rants, sometimes revealing more than he should have about potential conflicts, personal feuds, or even violent confrontations. The same content that once made him a social media attraction was now fueling the prosecution's narrative that he's a menace with no regard for the law.
Hey man, hey KJ, don't worry about it. Cuz they had homies. Don't shoot, not that. I'ma be over there today. You wanna fade on hood? I can pull up on that. I'ma be in the hood. Y'all come on the backside today.
Luce can't.
You know it's deep. Now we've heard all the complaints and indictments, and we've seen his interaction with them people, the feds in particular. Just know, realize, recognize, let this sink in. Cuz knew they was all up his business when he was making these rants. So if either he was bluffing, faking, and wasn't going over there, or he was bringing them people with him. He knew damn well him making that type of emotional rant on camera, they gonna be eyeballing. That's crazy. I just got to chill thinking about it, cuz knew he was hot. I remember when he got the second number and was like, you know how you talk, he never specified, but now thinking back, he been trying to tell nigga that thing was hot as a firecracker. Oh, my mama.
And also generated plenty of material on his own. At one point, a video surfaced of him involved in a chaotic street fight outside a studio, footage the prosecution used to illustrate that he's prone to violence. And with multiple fans, haters, and acquaintances recording every moment, these clips were nearly impossible to erase or walk back. They lived on the internet forever, accessible to anyone willing to dig for them. Law enforcement certainly did more than just dig. They compiled, analyzed, and prepared to introduce it all as evidence in court. That's just the beginning. One of the most startling developments in this entire case involves alleged fraud. Specifically, Bricc Baby stands accused of committing FEMA fraud, meaning that at some point, he may have filed a false claim to receive federal relief funds to which he wasn't entitled. When the authorities searched his digital devices, they reportedly found multiple Social Security.
Do anybody know back in the day when the FEMA was the checks, earthquake and all that, and they give us the checks, was people getting fee-nucked over for getting the checks and wasn't deserving them? Because that used to be the lick. When anything FEMA was cracking, that was the lick. Get the FEMA sheet it. But it was paper checks back then. I never heard about no bunch of people getting cracked for fraud. I think that's just happening because everything is digital, seemingly. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. There's somebody a little older, my age older in the chat that remember when FEMA checks used to crack. Was they getting caught up for fraud? Let me know.
Security numbers and other personal info, suggesting a broader scheme of identity theft or wire fraud. If true, these allegations could lead to significantly higher prison sentences than gun possession ever would. Gun charges often carry a range of a few years, possibly more with aggravating factors. But large-scale fraud? That could mean a decade or more, especially if multiple counts are stacked against him. While these revelations were coming to light, tensions among their associates began boiling over. Rolling 60s member Christopher 600 Lovejoy publicly labeled Bricc Baby a snitch after hearing snippets of wire.
Christopher Lovejoy is not a Rolling 60 member, just FYI.
Tapped conversations in which Bricc appeared to say he was tired of doing what the police told him. Without full context, it's unclear what exactly he meant, but rumors spread like wildfire. People started questioning whether Bricc was cooperating to save himself. Although there's no hard proof, the mere accusation added strain to his standing within the crew. Luce Cannon faced a similar backlash. During his court hearing, he attempted to distance himself from certain charges by clarifying that they actually belonged to his twin brother. From a purely legal standpoint, that might have been an honest correction. If the prosecution incorrectly attributed his brother's crimes to him, stating the truth could be necessary to avoid going down for something he didn't do. But in the eyes of street culture, that can come across as pointing the finger or throwing somebody else under the bus. Once the label of snitching hits the rumor mill, it's tough to shake off, whether it's accurate or not.
Oh, my mama. That why not insist that it isn't you? That's not me. That's not me. That's not me. Why do you have to indicate who it actually is? Let's run that over in our brain for a while. He was in court accused of a crime he didn't do, and it was going to be used against him in court. And he didn't just not deny to have committed that crime. He actually provided the name, according to him, of the individual that committed the crime. Is that a gray area? I'm gonna ask my people from the Yay area. Jay Diggs. It's your boy Whack, 3-Finger Whack Boy. Is he all bad for what he just did? Let me know, kid. Oh, my mama.
Let's read. Now, this is in the federal indictment. Like, this is not like a news article. This is the federal paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Let's read it again. The defendant told Casey that the police were acting stupid and that he was tired of doing what they told him to do and that he was ready to shoot the mother of his child. Like what they got you doing, bro? That you willing to shoot your baby mama? You know what I'm saying? Like what they, That informant stuff is that bad? Like, what they be having y'all do? Like, it's that bad that you want to kill your baby mama, bro? Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The prosecutor is giving him his charges, previous crimes, to deny his bail. Do you know what snitching he said in court? I didn't do those cases I went to jail for. My brother did those crimes. You snitching on your brother, snitching on your brother? You went to jail for him, bro. We're like, damn.
All of this drama begs a larger question. How did we reach a point where social media and gangster personas collide so catastrophically? In the old days, criminal activity was largely kept off camera, and personal business was rarely aired out in public. Nowadays, the quest for clout, likes, and followers can drive people to reveal incriminating details, sometimes without even realizing it. Live streams become impromptu confessionals. Podcast appearances turn into platforms for trash talk and threats. And each time someone hits go live, federal agents might be watching with notepads in hand. It's not just a matter of reckless bragging either. The feds excel at piecing together digital footprints, geotags, timestamps, matching faces in the background, cross-referencing social media accounts. These tools allow prosecutors to build cases that are frighteningly comprehensive. A single clip might be the missing puzzle piece that ties a suspect to a specific location or event. For Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon, it seems the puzzle is enormous, featuring months or even years of such digital evidence. Yet the meltdown in the courtroom offers an equally fascinating window into the real personalities behind these images. For Bricc Baby, stepping up to the judge with that multi-million-dollar bond on the table must have felt like a sure path to freedom, until the prosecution hit him with...
Bricc Baby knew better. Bricc Baby been affiliated with the system way too long. His parents was involved in the BMF federal situation. The Fed's been in his business for a few years. He's been catching cases for decades. He knew there was crumbs. It sounded good on podcasts to pop that little 1.1 and all that. That's just his style. You know, he liked to pop it. But he knew that wasn't no federal money. He knew that didn't mean shit to the Feds. Bricc Baby knew that. Especially the sober Bricc Baby. He knew that. I think that's why Bricc Baby sounds so unstressed. I think he's just accepted his fate. He know he gonna be there for a while. That's why he just like phenuck.
The narrative of being caught on camera with just 24 hours prior to his arrest. Luce Cannon's behavior in court showed how quickly street bravado can backfire in a formal legal setting.
The thing about it, that's not street bravado. That's slow tart bravado. There are tons of street dudes that go to court all the time and realize that it's open court and you have no say-so control over who comes in and watches. And that never takes place. Just think about it. People go to trial for murder all the time and the family of the victim is there. He did a slow tart thing, thinking, overcompensating, over-projecting, thinking that's street, thinking that's the G's thing he could do. But really that was slow-tarted. It was extremely slow-tarted.
Instead of showing humility, he aired more hostility, contradicting the argument that he'd learned to keep his cool. Friends and allies are also turning their backs. Many who once publicly supported them have either gone silent or outright criticized them. It's
the boogeyman that he professed to be would have had low-key IBM in the court, and all he had to do was give him the wink and the nod. And Eddie Boy would have had an issue when he walked out that building. That's the real boogeyman. If he was really the boogeyman like he claimed, IBM would have been in the building and Eddie Boy would have got a J. Reed Marciano when he left there. But his main henchman for the IBMs, he just got baptized. The nigga that was claiming East Coast that had the shit with Yael, the fake little whatever, the nigga who ain't from East Coast but holding on 100 and then was caught saying he was from East Coast. His name was Gloss, I think. Yeah, cuz I just got baptized. That's the nigga that was telling Marciano, go to sleep. Had no jumper, but couldn't sleep him. But yeah, he did suffer some brain damage as a result of all that. But yeah, why you scream in court at Eddie Boy instead of having the IBM? Do what y'all do, boogeyman.
One thing to brag about holding down your neighborhood or your crew. It's another to face down federal charges that could last a decade or more, and to realize your own words and actions pave the way for that outcome. Some longtime associates are even calling into question whether these men ever truly upheld the values they claim to represent. And
Loose lips ain't valid. Hell no. This dude is a slow tart. He's never been a part of the landscape. He has no actual, if you eliminate him, the 6-0 history will be exactly the same. He has no part in the legacy of the Rolling 60s. He just forced and forged his name to be a big name amongst them by doing this slow tarded shit. Went straight to the feds. Don't pass go, no 200. Oh, my mama, appointed lawyer. And for those who might be confused, he has a court-appointed lawyer, not a public defender. A public defender comes from the public defender's office, and they're paid a salary from the state to handle cases. Then they have a situation to where the lawyers who are private attorneys, when they pass the bar and agree and become lawyers, they have to agree to take on a certain amount of court-appointed cases. Because if you have a crime, a lot of times, if their lawyers coming out of the public defender office, for you to have a lawyer in the public defender office then will be a conflict of interest. So they have a system where then, instead of having two public defenders, the court will then appoint a private attorney to take your case in the same sense that a public defender would. And it's just like having a public defender in a lot of people's eyes, or worse, because public defenders have committed to the system that they work in. They work in this court, and if they have any type of integrity, they go as hard as they can go for their clients with the resources available. However, when you get a court-appointed attorney, a lot of people think they're doing better because this dude got some swag out here. His name means a little something in this system. However, he gets a rate from this government that is lower than what he normally gets. So he, more likely than not, will be less motivated to vigorously fight your case. So you would think you're doing better by not having a public defender, but that might not be actually the case. So this dude has a court-appointed lawyer, not a privately retained lawyer. It is a private lawyer, but he did not retain him. The government retained him on his behalf.
Then there's the rumor mill about additional charges. Whispers suggest prosecutors aren't finished, that they might be building an even bigger case involving other individuals or more intricate fraud schemes. If that's true, Bricc Baby's involvement in alleged FEMA fraud could only be the tip of the iceberg, and there may be people in his orbit who also get dragged into the legal crossfire. Luce Cannon, too, could find himself facing extra scrutiny, especially if prosecutors believe he has ties to other incidents. In high-profile street cases, once the feds have you in their sights, they tend to pile on everything they can, turning a single case into an overarching indictment that ropes in countless players. What does all this say about street loyalty? In many pop cultural portrayals, we're led to believe gangs or crews operate under a strict code of mutual respect and never betray each other. Yet reality shows us how quickly alliances fracture when serious prison time looms. Suddenly, individuals who once pledged undying loyalty to the same set are hurling around accusations of snitching, disavowing each other, or attempting to lay blame elsewhere. In an ironic twist, the system they claim to distrust is the very system they end up feeding by going public with their feuds and disputes. The bigger lesson here resonates far beyond just Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon. The internet has reshaped how investigators approach cases. Where police once relied heavily on in-person surveillance and wiretaps, they now mine social media for open source intelligence. Where once you'd hear hush-hush stories whispered in back alleys, you can now watch them unfold on YouTube or Instagram, complete with timestamps. It's an entirely different landscape, and many people caught up in it don't realize they're basically handing over evidence until it's too late. Also, consider the fans. Many watchers are drawn in by the spectacle, enjoying the drama of heated arguments, menacing threats, and behind-the-scenes glimpses at street life. But when arrests happen and potential prison sentences come into play, some fans move on to the next story, while others become armchair detectives picking apart every detail. The audience's appetite for raw, unfiltered content has, in some ways, encouraged the very oversharing that leads to legal peril. So, where do Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon stand now? For the moment, both remain in custody, denied bond, and facing uncertain futures. The gun charges alone are enough to keep them tied up in legal proceedings for months. The swirling fraud allegations could extend their predicament by years. Any fresh evidence introduced in court would only bolster the prosecution's position unless somehow it points to serious procedural mistakes or exonerate.
I'm surprised Bricc Baby didn't make his way to the runway. We seen Crip Mac on there with Dusto Dub, but maybe I missed it. Cause this nigga do be Dougie. He stay flea now. He got a cold closet, a collection in that. Oh my mama. Sometimes he get a little too eccentric for me, but you know that's the modern times because dude be fly.
Details. Yet so far, most rumors and updates suggest that the feds are far from done, which rarely bodes well for defendants in high-profile cases. The atmosphere in their personal circles seems equally tense. People who once rode with them are stepping away or openly challenging their narratives, claiming they never fully belonged or never truly represented what they said they did. OGs who might have mediated internal disputes in the past are now watching from a distance, wanting nothing to do with federal investigations. It's a sobering reality. The same online platforms that once gave them fame have turned into a liability. The same street legends they once used to bolster their reputations have become critics tearing them down. If there's one final takeaway, it's the cautionary note for anyone seeking validation through controversy and confrontation on social media. The short-term gains in views, likes, and clout can pale in comparison to the long-term consequences when law enforcement decides to take a closer look. It's easy to think, that'll never happen to me, or they won't really care about my little corner of the internet. But the Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon story shows how real it can get. They went from confidently announcing their upcoming release date to discovering that the judge had zero interest in letting them walk free. They went from starring in viral clips to having those very clips used as evidence in court. They went from being local heroes or anti-heroes, depending on your perspective, to being men at the center of swirling allegations that include everything from violent threats to large-scale fraud. And they went from having loyal supporters to facing an avalanche of accusations about snitching, lying, and faking affiliations.
And this dude's a rat based on his paperwork, bro. You can't walk no yard with that. That's a rat. You know what I'm saying?
This goofball always talking about what you could do on the yard. He has absolutely zero personal knowledge of what takes place on the yard, no experience, but yet he speaks from a position of an expert because it's something he heard. She always talking about what she heard. Once again, oh my mama has no idea what happens on the yard, what it looks, smells like, what, who says what, who does what. He only knows what he's been told. Slow-tarded.
Whatever else you do, it don't really matter. And what you've done before don't matter. That's all erased. That's over with.
This is more than just a couple.
This slow-tard queerdo, swear up and down, Big U told on Eddie Boy, and what'd he say, 88, 30 years ago? And he walked the yard for a decade plus. And then you turn around and say, oh, you can't walk no yard with paperwork. But you swear Big U was on paperwork. Make it make sense, slow-tard.
The guys who got in trouble. It's a window into how the digital age intersects with the age-old concept of the streets, creating a new breed of high-stakes drama, where every slip of the tongue or show of bravado can be recorded, scrutinized, and weaponized in court. In the end, the biggest losers might be those who believed online popularity would shield them from real-world consequences, because if there's one thing these cases underscore, it's that the internet never forgets, and neither do the feds.
You see what it say? Like and subscribe for me. I usually don't say that, but like and subscribe to his shit too. But yeah, it's look bad. We gonna see. Let's stay tuned. And in the meantime, keep it a Google.
Google gang. Straight legend. Google gang. SBI. Google gang. Google gang in here. You better keep that shit up Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
Bottom line, love life, show us a blessing. Pull up politic and blow us a session. Spot a local most easty. mistaking the station. They making them statements. We waking and baking. Word of the day, EC on replay. The marijuana-thon with VJ Keyway, BS and BS. Killing on the track in the black box. We never put feelings over facts. Bay Machiavelli, run me the bread. I don't get mad, I get money instead. I be high, you can tell by a nigga eyes. But wise enough to enterprise, you dig a lies. Contemplating with the Google gang, conversating. Counting coins while these cowards in the comments hating. Only thing count, my count getting another comma. I'm a magnet to the money on my mother mama.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google gang.
If you can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and drop the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google the only way. Mention me, I come out and play. That's on the gang. We're not the same. I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards. We all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies. Facts over feelings. We ain't gonna start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google gang.
Neighborhood net hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spider Low. Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low, that's my nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Wood, C-Mac, shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nate Wood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, crib.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the black box. Whoa! With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka VJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!